Hi everybody, Liz Aguirre here. Now that we've officially entered spring, it's that time of the year where we start spending a lot of our time outdoors. And if you're like me, I'm always trying to figure out what's something new I can do outdoors. And what I'm going to teach you in this video is going to give you a very basic introductory level of magnet fishing. And like, magnet fishing, what's that? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you a tutorial about what magnet fishing is, the supplies that you need, really just showing you maybe this hobby that you didn't know existed, but it is becoming more and more popular, and hopefully I'll inspire you to maybe get out there and try it. Because by the end of this video, you should be able to answer 5 questions. What is magnet fishing? What materials do you need? What should you consider when picking the right location? Also, 4, what kinds of treasures might you find on your adventure out there in the magnet fishing world? And number 5, what's the best thing about magnet fishing? I'll give you a hint. It's kind of a cheat sheet up front. It's the fun. And you can't put a price on fun. And so this is something that, whether you have any experience, beginner, not, if you're the type of person that wants to go do activities by yourself, this is great. If you want to be with friends, this is great. So there is no one size fits all here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you out to location here in DC and show you what it looks like to magnet fish. So I will see you all shortly. Hi everyone, Liz here. We are out at the wharf in Washington, DC. It is unseasonably very cold and windy, so we picked a pier where there's a backside so I'm not getting hit with as much wind. Ideally, when you do this, I mean, you can do it in any conditions. It's obviously nicer when it's warmer outside, but I'm going to go over what it looks like when you actually get out to the spot to start your magnet fishing. So here are some of the things that you want. You want to have a bucket. It could be any size. You can use whatever container you want to keep your treasures. When you order a magnet fishing starter kit, it'll come with a rope, some weights, some gloves. But what I use right here is a 100-foot rope, and I'm here just to keep it tighter. And then I used a carabiner at the end, because what you want to do is you want to be able to tie this off to a post or somewhere secure. So when you throw your line out, you don't have to worry about holding both sides. So this just helps me, because when I pull up the rope, I'm going to want this secured to something just as my backup. So I'm going to use this black post over here to tie it up. And on the other end of the rope, I put another carabiner. This one is more secure, and I'm going to hook up my magnet. And this magnet right here is 5 pounds, and it can hold up to 200 pounds. It really just depends on what I'm pulling up, but it should hold up to 200 pounds. So I'm going to make sure I hook that in here, and then just for extra security, I'm going to secure it so this part doesn't come out. I suggest that you do that because when you throw it into the water, when it's going across. And the other thing that you can use is a hook. So if you have something that's bulky, if you get a bicycle or something else and you need extra help, you can hook up this hook to another line, and you and your friend, whoever you're with, can help pull it up. And then highly recommend you use gloves, because like on a day like today, it's cold, my hands are already numb. So using this, so when I throw out the line and bring it back up, it's going to be cold and wet, so you want to make sure that you have that. And plus, it's also for safety reasons too, because there's a lot of times where you could get different, like nails, anything that's metal that's really sharp, so you want to make sure that you have gloves to protect. When I come back, I'm going to get set up, and then we will tie it up, and I will show you what it looks like. All right, now that I'm set up, I'm going to hook up my line to the black post. All right, and I'm going to put my gloves on. And what you want to do, it's very common to go off a pier. I'm in the wharf, so there's boats. So just make sure that you're in an area that if you do throw it off, you're going to be able to pull it back up. And if you look and see where I'm using, it's just a board, so I can lean forward and pull it up if I want. So it's not in an area that I can throw it over, but I'm going to have a real difficulty bringing it back up. All right, everyone, I'm about to throw it. Just want to make sure that your line is not tangled up, and I like to do the old heave-ho a few times just so I can make sure that I get it out there. All right. All right, since I have it hooked up here, I'm just going to start reeling it back. And if I get any resistance, that means there's some metal. So it's kind of the same concept of fishing as you're reeling it back in. And I cut a little bit of a knot. And right now I can feel that I'm on something. So there's actual resistance. But whatever I just had resistance on, it dropped or it hooked. So I don't think I'm not carrying anything on my particular weight. But I know that there is something out there, so what I'll do is I will bring this up and I will throw it back in. So I definitely had hooked something with that throw. All right, since I know there's something out there because I did catch it, but when I was pulling it back up, it released it, which is common. So you're just gonna, it's part of the fun. You get to keep going until you catch it. All right, so I'm gonna heave it out there again. Go ahead. All right, so I definitely feel like there's something on it. I don't know if I got what I originally felt. And like I said, the cord length depends. If it wasn't so windy right now, we would go out to the back side of the pier and go out and really chuck it the full 100 feet. That way there's more distance for it to scrape. All right. Well, so here is something interesting. This is a bolt, which is kind of cool. Hopefully it's not off the pier we're on right now. Hopefully it's not important. But it is a bolt. And these are the cool kind of things that you can find. At least you're cleaning up the ocean or whatever body of water that you're doing. So cleaning this up. All right, so that is our first find of the day, is a bolt. What I'm gonna do is go position myself on the other side and we'll try one more area. All right, so we switched sides. This side is way windier, but there's a much better view over here because the Washington Monument, the nation's capital. It is a cold, windy day, but I'm going to try my best and see what we can get on this side. Here we go. And as you can see, all throws are not beautiful, and they're going to look crazy depending on the conditions. So don't beat yourself up. Originally created for fishermen, magnet fishing, to find their keys or anything that was dropped overboard. This would be a way that they would retrieve it. So it's been around quite a long time, and then the hobby has just turned into a sport of cool things you can find. Which, doing some research, you found a lot of cool things on the European side. But I've got nothing here, so alright, I'm gonna reel it back up, I should say. So, just sitting here and how beautiful it is right here across the way this would be a really, really, given nice weather, this is a really cool way to enjoy it. You can bring a lunch out here, just have fun with your friends, your kids, anybody that, just wants to see what they can find. And you can go anywhere where there's water. So this, might not be the greatest thing to find by some other goodies that we found being out here. So at the very least, I've cleaned up some things at the bottom of the wharf for today. So thank you for joining, and I hope that you learned just basic fundamentals of what it looks like. So you want to make sure that you have a bucket to get your treasures, that you have a rope that's at least 50 feet, depending on where you're magnet fishing from. You want the line to go out as far as you want it to go. You want to make sure you use 2 carabiners on both ends. You want to tie it in an inlet knot like this. You can wrap it with tape. On the side that has your magnet, you want to make sure that you use the carabiner that has a fastener, because when you are bringing it back in, you don't want to have it come off, depending on what big things that you've found. We've lost one before. That's how we know the importance of having one that has a lock on it. But you want to make sure that before you throw it, that the other side is hooked up to a post. Whatever you find, make sure that it's secure, so when you throw it up, you don't have to worry about losing the rope and your magnet all in one. And if that does happen, because it has happened, hopefully your friend that you're with, you're both magnet fishing, they can go try to clip your magnet if you need to. And then when you're throwing it off the pier, you want to make sure, I mean, bench, you can do it whatever you want to do it off of. You just want to make sure that there's not metal on the other side, so that when you're pulling it up, it doesn't get stuck to that and you lose whatever you find. So just make sure that the area is safe for it to bring back up. And then make sure that you have gloves, because right now my hands are numb, and it would be even worse if I don't have these gloves pulling it. All those things, and just sit out here, and you'll start to see where you can find, hey, this is a heavy spot, there must be something up here, and then you and your friend can throw multiple lines and try to get it back up. We've got bicycles before, one bicycle before. We've gotten a gun. We have found different old like Budweiser cans. So it's just a really cool discovery of finds that you have. So spend an afternoon, an evening, a morning with yourself, with one of your friends, your kids, anyone in it. So hopefully I've given you the introductory lesson so you know where to go and how to get started in magnet fishing.